Yeah.
Okay. All right, so here we are, and can you get Richard on there somewhere, Tom? Thanks. All right, Richard. So what's going on? Tim Saracki this week. I heard my wife say that he called you a dick. Is that true, or that?
Yes, it is.
Why did Tim? What happened? What's the context for Tim Saracki calling you a dick this week?
He watched the show, and somehow he felt that the whole direction that the show was going in was a result of my initiation. Because remember, after it was posted, I talked about how proud I was to be a member of the show.
Yeah, you liked the fact that last week's show was cinema verite and honesty.
Right, and non-censorship.
And non-censorship, yeah.
And somehow he must have thought that like the whole thing was my idea, and so he sort of like put the responsibility on me.
So it's actually my idea. So
slight technical problem he's having here.
Tom's not good with camera work, so we gotta just.
So he did that. He posted that. He said, you know, he expresses displeasure.
It's
and
displeasure.
He focused it at me.
And you're a dick, he said.
Now.
Oh.
A day later, he did a second post.
What was the second one?
The second was, Richard, I just want to let you know I've been going through a lot of health problems, and it's causing me to lash out at people, all as a result of what's happening to me inside. I just feel, I just don't feel good.
Oh.
And then I posted back. I said, perfectly fine. I said, like Gustave Flaubert said, everything you say is a reflection of your internal state.
I remember with Flaubert saying that, yeah.
And then he said something else. He said, sometimes you have to give people time to get over things and whatever they're dealing with health-wise,
Wow.
And then I said, perfectly fine, Tim, the doe and the wolf are at play, and the lion and the lamb are at peace, and a child is looking at the sunset and feeling wonderful. So, and then is his brother Christian?
Yes.
Okay, Ernie, right?
Correct.
Okay. Christian posts, wow, that sounds pantheistic. Now guess what the next thing that happened was?
I couldn't. I have no idea.
The whole post got deleted.
Oh, it's deleted? But deleted because they didn't like it, or?
I don't know.
Oh. It sounds great, and so does that make you think that since the lamb was laying down with the lion and all that, is Tim coming back to your house now to be on the show?
That was the idea I got. That he's offering
once his health issues are done.
He's offering an olive branch so that he can make peace with Michael and he can return.
But you're throwing the Michael thing in. We don't know about that because he never said anything about making peace with Michael. He said Michael creeps him out intensely.
He did mention he was thinking on refriending you, didn't he?
Oh, didn't he refriend you?
He sent me a friend request.
And did you accept?
I did accept.
Excellent.
Any talk between the two of you on the Facebook? No. At least you're friends again on Facebook. That's the important thing.
Well, that's the first step.
That's the first step towards reconciliation.
I'm not replying to any posts that he makes.
No, because you'll creep him out again.
Yeah.
Don't ever. You're smart, Michael. Don't creep the guy out. Yeah. Let him come back. And I want to say to Tim, if you're watching this second show that's all about you, first of all, it's coming from me, your best friend of 35 years, not from Richard. And secondly, that's my son giving the thumbs up. And secondly, my son Tommy. And secondly, Michael's not going to be here in November, so you're good.
I'll be here.
You told me November. When are you coming back?
He's going to be 100% in November.
I'm going to be.
When are you coming back to this show? Tell me that.
As soon as I feel well enough to.
So what's the ballpark figure?
I have no idea. Well, all right, probably 6 weeks.
Okay, so Tim, back to me. Tim, you got 6 weeks, carte blanche, to come here and sit in this chair and be your Tim Saracki obnoxious self. Where you look at the phone when people are here and you call the guest by the wrong name on purpose. Bob, it's like the guy's name is Joe, and you're like, Bob, yeah, you're on the show. Do that crap, where you ignore the guest and treat him like dirt, and you look at your phone and make calls to Dave Staub the whole time. That's what we like on what you're doing. It's great. Richard, you like that, don't you?
I'd like to say something to Tim, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tim, we would love to have you back. We have an expression here at the home. Which one? Oh, it's that one?
Yeah, you're there.
We have an expression here at the Home of the Future. Hate the sin, love the sin. So,
I also hate the sinner.
Richard, why did you not include the part where Tim said Richard creates these insular little experimental
Richard Little Wicca
environments.
worlds, yeah. And plus, he called you a dick.
Was in
Yeah.
a different post.
No, it was in the post where he said that you were a dick.
I don't like
He
being.
said,
I must say, I don't like
Richard-
being in the Little Richard Wicca world that you create, Richard.
Yeah.
Why do you create the fucking Little Richard
These
Wicca world
experiments.
and put us in it? Why do you do that to us? Why?
Well, that was very thought-provoking.
It was.
And it made me wonder how much all of us create a little world.
I create one all the time.
You know?
I create one here, which is so weird because I'm already inside the Little Richard Wicca world, and then I create a little real Greg Sterlace world within inside the Little Richard
Like
Wicca
when those
world.
women in the earlier show came here, they stepped into your world.
They did, and they were terrified. How do
But
you feel?
there was a group hug. There was a group hug at the end.
Yeah, we did a group hug, Michael.
There was a wet spot on that chair when.
Wow, because she was excited.
Scared. She was scared.
Oh, I thought you were saying she was excited.
No.
Scared, excited.
He
She's
stepped in-
scared.
Tony.
But what?
sniffing the
Tony
seat.
is sniffing the seat. Okay,
It's not that kind of wet.
but not that kind of wet. Scared wet. So, Linda, was I better than Linda Pellegrino or worse than Linda Pellegrino?
I haven't seen Linda Pellegrino in so long I wouldn't be able to make a comparison.
Oh,
I
come
thought
on,
you
you
were better than
think
Tom
back.
Brokaw.
Better than Tom Brokaw. Pretty high praise.
Now, in all fairness, since you spoke to Tim and I spoke to Tim, should we let Mr. X speak to Tim?
No, because he creeps Tim out, and anything he says will creep him out further.
Well, no, anything he writes.
But if he says something, it's when people write, they think of it as saying, like even in a book, an author might say, "I could say, I love the Rolling Stones," but he's typing it or he's writing it. It's written in a book. They don't say, "I could write, I like the Rolling Stones." They say it, the author about the Rolling Stones book, "I could say I love Mick Jagger's vocals." So anything he says right now could creep Tim out even worse because he's got his face, got Michael's face. And
Which
we
is
put
a
Michael's-
face of
it's
love.
It's a face of creepiness. The guy's a creep. Look at him.
I see
He's a creep.
I see love and
I see creepiness in his face. We all do. Creepiness.
am
Look at
not
that.
particularly
He's
creeped out.
creeping me out right
I
now.
see wittiness.
Tony, is he creeping you out?
Not particularly.
Oh, okay,
no.
you're
I see
easy.
a wordsmith.
I'm getting creeped out
Thank
the
you.
more the close-up goes on. The closer it gets on his face, the creepier it gets.
I see a gentle man.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying.
A gentle man
I like
and
the
a
work you're doing
gentleman.
there, Tom. It's terrifying. It's scary. Look at those eyes. The eyes of a killer, obviously.
Oh, my
Come
God.
on. The
Okay,
eyes of
now
an
you're
evil,
starting to convince me.
evil, creepy man. Look at that. He's evil. He's creepy. No wonder Tim is about this guy talking to him.
Oh, but I disagree with you. You can write something and say something and it'll come out different.
Okay.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I went to see your new movie. It was cool. Now, in your mind, it goes, I went to see your movie. It was cool.
Yeah.
But they may read it as
Sarcastic.
I went to see your movie. It was cool.
So is that like sarcasm?
Yes,
or-
like it
Oh.
wasn't. See?
So Michael, don't be sarcastic when you address Tim right now.
I had it fixed.
Don't.
You want me to address Tim?
Richard does because Richard
want
likes
me to
living.
address-
on
No,
the
I'm
edge.
saying you have the option to
you
say
can
something
if you want
to him now.
We did, and we want you to say.
Because
it.
we did. We want to give you the
We
same
give you the
option.
option because
Oh.
we are peace and love people. Even though you're creepy as all hell, especially the close-ups like that. Oh my God, it's really creepy. Okay, you have anything to say to Tim or no? Hey, you want to say to Tim? Keep doing that. It's scary.
No,
Come on, it's great.
creepy.
Say something while he's doing that.
I can't see my.
You have anything to say to Tim or
What
not?
are you doing
Screwing
here,
this
Tom?
around.
Tom, you don't know what you're doing with the camera.
Oh, my God.
He's busting it.
God, what are you doing?
It's
Michael-
pandemonium.
And you broke it again.
Pandemonium.
I'm over here. Hi.
Star goes back to pass, Murph. That's Favre, Murph. That's Favre. I said Murph. That's Favre, man. Okay, go ahead. Anyways. Star goes back to pass, Murph. That's Favre, man.
The camera's on you. The
Star
camera's
retired
on
40
you.
years
Why don't
ago.
you say something?
Anyways,
Put
I said
words in my
something.
mouth.
No, I don't want
Words in
to.
my mouth.
You want us to talk to Tim or not?
Well, okay. Well,
It's up to you.
Tim hasn't. I accepted Tim's friend request, and he hasn't said anything to me. I don't know if he's waiting for me to say something.
Right now is the opportune time.
No, I mean on Facebook.
But now he's
No, I'm
probably waiting for
supposed
the
to write a
second show. He
message.
watched the first show.
Which-
So he's probably watching this show too. This is actually show 3 because we did the show with the ladies. We didn't mention Tim at all.
Ah.
Right? So should we change the order of those?
In the text,
We'll put one as Tim Saraki.
make
one
it
doesn't.
clear that there's
Yeah.
a Tim Saraki heavy reference.
Heavy
in
reference show. The other one has no Tim Saraki references. Put that in, Michael, when you type it
No,
off.
because it'll sound like Tim's fat, and I'm saying it.
No, it
Tim's
won't
heavy.
No, it won't seem like that. He is fat, but it's not, we're not going to say
I didn't say that. I didn't.
No, I'm
say
saying
that.
Tim's fat. Tim's fat. I'm fat. We're both fat. You're also fat, Michael.
All right.
All three of us are
Here's
fat.
what I'm going to say.
Tom
I'm gonna
Winter's
say.
also fat. He's sitting next to me. He's fat.
Okay, he's composed
The only
as
one-
next.
It's an epic.
The only one who's not fat
is
here.
Richard.
No, Tony's not really fat.
I would like to
Richard's
point.
not fat either.
Hey.
Richard's thin.
I'd like you guys to check this out here.
It's a lot of. I can feel
Wow.
how thick that is just by you touching it. That's sickening. Oh my God, you're creeping me out, man. Oh no, there's the creep face. Oh, there's the creep face again. Oh my God, the creep
I know,
face.
my God, he's too
Oh my
normal.
God,
He
the
could be a
creep
serial
face.
killer.
That Tom Winter's great with the camera work. I mean, it's amazing. It's like he's like something or other.
Knock the video screen over.
Okay, he's ready to give his speech to Michael.
To Tim.
All right. Tim, hi.
Don't fuck it up. Don't creep him out too much when you do the speech, Michael.
Tim, I'm really sorry that you took offense at some of the stuff that I
But don't say what it is.
posted.
We know what it is, but don't say it.
I know. But there was never any intention to do anything other
Except
than
creep you out.
make you laugh and bring a smile to your face.
Then how'd you creep him out then if you were trying to make him laugh?
I don't know. That
We
was the
know how
question.
you gotta finish
The
his
question
statement.
was why. What creeped him out?
We already know what
but
creeped
it doesn't
him out.
It doesn't matter.
No,
It doesn't matter.
blood
I
under the
said
bridge now.
I misunderstood my audience.
Yeah, you did.
I really
Often
didn't.
do.
I didn't know Tim as much as I thought I knew him.
Don't know him at all.
From,
I know him implicitly.
And what's the
35
rest of it?
years.
we were talking about the things that change us. But
We
anyway,
were
I'm sorry you were offended.
talking
There was no mean no mean
Spiritedness.
no mean spiritedness.
Yes, there was. It was totally mean-spirited.
No,
You just didn't mean to creep him out, but it was mean-spirited.
it wasn't mean spirited.
Everything you do is mean-spirited,
No.
Michael. That's how you roll.
It wasn't
We know that because we found out last week you're the most
Wasn't
horrible person on the
mean-spirited.
planet.
Oh, that was
Two people
somebody
told me
else
that
who
the
said that.
same week that you're the most horrible person who ever lived through all of history. So obviously that says something. How would I have two people who I love tell me that you're the most horrible person alive and have me not believe it? Come on. I love these people. I love them. You know I love them. And they both told me the most horrible human being who ever existed.
Well,
out of
if
all the
that's the
billions of people.
case-
And I think you're really sweet.
If that's the case,
How have you been faking me out 24
if that's
times?
the case, how come Amy acts so creeped out by you when
Hey,
she saw you at
whoa,
Nietzsche's?
hey, wait. First
Hey,
of all,
no, we're not going to
she
do
did
any
not act.
names.
She did not act creeped out.
You said she acted
I did
creeped
not
out.
say that. This is what I said. I said she was like standoffish, like this.
Yes.
That's not. I didn't say the
Oh,
word
no,
creep.
now there's semantics going on.
It's not so
here.
bad. I never said creep. Come on, man. You're putting
All right,
words in my
all
mouth.
right.
I
Well,
said standoffish.
She was standoffish.
Let's talk
Not
about our
creep.
guest here so
You're
we don't
right.
give him the last few minutes.
No, we got 17 minutes left. It's a lot of time, man. What are you
Yay.
talking about? All right. So Tony, your graphic novel is called Sins of the Mother.
Yep.
That is a good title. And what's going on? It's another one of your classic Tony serial killer productions, right?
Yeah, but it's
famous
my
for.
first attempt at a graphic novel.
It's looking pretty good already.
Now, is
I saw
this
chapter 3.
some graphic novels? They don't mind if the villain wins at the end. Now, you don't have to give it away, but
The villain does not win at the end of this, Richard.
I'm wondering: are you from the
He
genre that might have the villain win at the end?
No, he's not.
Let's just say my heroine, my lady who dispatches her killer, the end of this book's going to be a lot different than I anticipated. She's not going to be quite the simple, one-dimensional, good little Catholic girl that we thought. I got
Oh,
some...
women fight back against the killer?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
His heroine does.
here.
His heroine, he has a heroine in chapter 3 who fights back against
Did
the
she
killer.
fight fire with fire?
I wouldn't say that.
Well, fight fire with firepower.
Power, yeah, but not fire.
So a bullet may be fired.
Let's see some drawings here.
All right, let's get this crap out of the way.
That's the back of
shall
the
we?
drawings.
Yeah.
Turn it around. Here we go.
There we go.
That's the top start of chapter 3. Look at those breasts.
That's it, Tony.
Look at that gun. Is the gun a phallic symbol here, Tony?
No.
Okay.
No.
So she's going to be the one who stops the serial killer? Is that correct?
Yep.
What's her name? Are you going to use a name on her, or you just have a name in your head?
Well, basically, it's in my head. I've never actually employed her name.
You haven't given her a name yet.
No, he has it in his mind.
Her
But
name's Rebecca.
okay.
Becca?
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Yeah. What we started out with here is, in this ensuing melee, she ended up wounded, ended up in the hospital, and that's where she's telling her story from. Now, the story itself
Should he turn it? Tom?
starts.
Should he turn it a little bit towards you? Okay.
Yeah, that's
that
your
looks
camera
good.
right there.
Yeah, that's your camera. Yeah, that looks great. Okay,
whole
what's
thing
going on there?
Well, she's basically what it is. She's going through kind of like a morphine drug trip at first.
Of course.
Look how photorealistic he does it.
Yeah.
It almost looks like someone wearing a stocking.
Yeah, it's cool. Tony, how do you decide when to put the color in? Is that for the eyes and teeth and hands and stuff like that?
Strategic coloring. Just actually the inspiration for that was Frank Miller and his Sin City work.
Oh, yeah, Sin City, right. It is Sin City.
Which they transferred to the movie, the same thing.
Yeah,
Oh.
they transferred it to 2 movies. Both. You see the second one, too, yeah. Same thing. Right,
Want
so
me to help you?
that's influenced
Hold
you.
Yeah. So, yep. Oh God, he came Frank Miller. That guy, he is my artistic hero.
Yeah, he's something.
Yeah.
You wouldn't mind being an intern on his next creation, huh?
Oh, I would be honored.
That would be great.
I would be absolutely honored. There we go.
She's got some nice hair there.
Thanks.
Her hair is like,
It does all kinds of wild stuff during the drug trip.
oh, she's on a drug trip here?
Drug trip, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a morphine drug.
Morphine drug trip. And now that's the serial killer with the mask on, right?
Yep. These 2 pages here, I might have to kind of pull aside. I had to tear them loose before and so I could scam to somebody. But this is where it starts getting real. You can just pull that aside.
I see a person with a bullet.
In his eye.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Does she shoot the serial killer in the eye?
Yep.
Great,
Let's see,
beautiful.
Here, just above the eye, the shoulder.
Because he was going to try to rape
chest.
her, right?
Oh, yeah.
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 So he's a nasty serial killer.
Now, in some movies, you can shoot the villain, but they don't die.
As opposed to a lovable,
a
huggable
lovable, huggable
Yeah, I
serial
guess.
killer. You know, like Charlie Manson, one of those lovable, huggable serial killer types.
Yeah. Or good old Green River Gary.
So she's trying to take him out with the bullet in the eye?
She emptied the gun into him, so yeah, taking him out.
Take him
pretty
out,
much
yeah. Blam,
no
blam, I
point
see here.
anymore. Yeah.
And then crash.
Yeah.
So she's successful in taking him out here, or what's going on?
Yes.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. That's the last completed page.
Beautiful.
Now, what she's
Yeah, let's give him a hand.
Beautiful artwork.
Thanks.
How long does it take for you to do that, Tony?
Each page?
Yeah, each page.
Sometimes a few weeks, sometimes a
Wow.
month, sometimes more.
Wow, for one page, like a month or few weeks, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to keep in mind,
Intricate.
he's
Oh.
drawing on white paper, so he's got to color all that in himself, that
Right.
black.
Right.
Well, check this, okay? You'll notice that she didn't get her wounds from the fight with the killer, but the gunshots woke up this guy, bell tower operator. What we got here is, I'll show you the last page I was working on.
Oh, here we are, up to date.
What happened was we have in the bell tower operator another minor demented character, 37-year-old guy who was going through paranoid delusions. The whole "they're after me, I hear him in my cereal bowl" type thing. He heard those gunshots. He tore down the stairs with his own little piece of cutlery. I mean, first thing he sees running through there is her. He thought that, well, what? This is the CIA coming to get me? I don't know. She had the gun in her hand, by the way. It was empty,
Right.
but she had it. And he started lashing out,
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember, she just won over one of the most brutal killers in this L.A.
Right.
He got her 3 times. They were minor cuts.
Right.
And she managed to overpower him down here. You see her, she slams right into his forearm, cracks the bone,
Beautiful.
and that's where...
Love it.
Yeah.
Is this based on a true story, or is this from your imagination?
Off my head.
Wow, off from your head, man.
Had it done.
Were you out like driving and you started thinking of this?
No, I did this before I became a driver.
Wow, a long time ago.
Yeah.
It just came to you.
Yeah.
Does it come through dreams or when you're awake?
Actually, most of them just through random thoughts. A lot of them were over the period of when I was driving. 1 or 2 of different delusions came from cough syrup and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, cough syrup is good. It helps for. I was telling Richard that you take cough syrup, you smoke marijuana, you take hashish, whatever. You take heroin.
Opium.
I take opium. I was telling Richard. I had a big discussion with Richard. I said this helps the artist to create, to open up parts of their mind they wouldn't have open if they weren't taking the cough syrup. And he said, bullshit. That's Mr. Here with the hat on. He said, bullshit.
I
That's
said
not-
I respectfully disagree.
Yeah, right. It wasn't bullshit. It was I respectfully disagree.
Well, it went through the air and then it hit his eardrums.
It's bullshit.
And it translated it.
Nice.
But isn't it true that the cough medicine, etc., can help open some avenues for the creative mind? Tony?
To some degree.
It did for you? Yeah, to some degree. That's what I'm saying. To some degree. You heard of Sergeant Pepper? You heard of Piper at the Gates of Dawn? You heard of Jimi Hendrix? Come on!
What kind of a commie do you think I am?
Well, I couldn't comment on that at the moment. So I'm trying to keep this show wholesome as usual. Just serial killer stuff tonight, folks.
Nice.
So, anyways, yeah, drugs are good. Cough syrup is good, and we all know that. And we all right, Michael. Drugs are good,
Prescription drugs.
and illicit drugs are also good.
Being your own drug is the best because the scariest work I do comes out of nowhere when
Yeah.
I'm cold sober. And,
When you're high on life, yeah.
well,
Well,
high
low
on
on
some
for
kind of
you, it
life.
might be low on life, right?
I got
Sometimes.
my own fantasy world just like you guys. If I ever lived in the real
own
world, I'd
little-
go insane in a second.
Your old little. I know. So you're agreeing that Richard get a shot of Richard. That you get a shot of. That he's living his own little fantasy world, isn't he? Look at him. He's living his own little fantasy world. He calls it the home of the future.
Yeah.
And he's living his own little Richard Wicka world. What a bunch of bullshit. Come on. That's why I'm interpreting it anyway. I'm living in a real Greg Sterlace show world. And of course, Michael's living in his own little fantasy world where he dresses in women's clothing, goes to work. I mean, that's a fantasy world if nothing else.
I can't escape this.
He goes
You
to
make
work
it
as
sound like a
Deanna
bad
Durbin.
thing.
Have you always worked in the window pane fashion of the same size and number of?
For a long time, I have. I was doing one-page minis for a long time, and then a friend of mine just suggested putting more dialogue in there. And at the time, I'm thinking, well, hell, I'm 40 years old, and I'm getting tired of, confining myself to one page. I always wanted to try a graphic novel.
Yeah.
But
I
the
gotta-
window pane, yeah, I've done that for a long time.
Yeah, I was reading, or I shouldn't say reading. I was watching Watchmen on the video, and they have a really good explanation of how they did that exact same thing. And as soon as I saw those pages, that's the first thing I thought of was, it's the same on every page, except for you take a little liberty and you expand one section of the page. It's really cool.
So you have read comic books?
Oh yeah.
Graphic novels.
Graphic novels?
I've read more comic
And you have
books
too,
than
right,
graphic
Greg?
I have, yes, because I am a nerd.
Now, back in the day when I read comic books, it was like left to right, left to right, left to right. But
You're living
then
in
they
the
would start
past.
putting circles
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, that's the old days. That's back in
And,
the
and now,
Steranko.
and now, like what he does, when do you read the center square?
You never do. It's like Paul Lynde just mute. So, Tony, this is an unrelated question, but I want to get this on the record. You love David Lynch, don't you? We talked about it earlier. You love Eraserhead. Tell me about your love for David Lynch.
Oh man, I mean the guy is absolutely insane. I mean, he's one of a kind. There's no one like him.
There's no one like him. Eraserhead took 5 years to make, but it was worth it, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean that's as far as I know, that's where he really first hit the scene. And to me, that will always be the best right there. Black and white, completely nightmarish.
Completely nightmarish, like my life. Black and white, completely nightmarish, like my existence.
You're
like,
preaching to the choir.
Preaching to the choir. I'm preaching to the choir. Would you rather be an intern for David Lynch or Frank Miller?
Oh man, now I'm totally different.
Do both.
Can I moonlight?
Do both.
Yes, you can, because you're
Yes, there is a guy.
you're like Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver.
Oh, no.
You're moonlighting. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying?
I own that movie, dude.
I do too.
You own Taxi Driver?
Yeah.
You,
I do
Tony,
too.
own that
Yeah.
seems surprising. I thought that would be like last thing on your Christmas list. Somehow I thought you would never watch that movie.
Bernard
Surprise.
Herrmann's score.
Oh, but you know what I love?
Oh.
You know what I love about movies, Tony? I think you can agree with me on this. It's the scores.
It's the
the
music.
musical
Oh,
score.
yeah.
It's like on Bernard
Oh.
Herrmann's score that he
Yeah.
completed on the day he died. Just so beautiful for Taxi Driver.
Oh.
It hooks you into the movie completely, doesn't it?
It can be beautiful yet haunting and eerie. It's
Yeah.
mysterious.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Kind of like this gentleman over here, Michael.
Thank you.
He's really.
And when you have a movie where the score becomes identified with the movie,
Yeah,
Yes.
like Vertigo.
A Man and a Woman,
A Man and a Woman, of course.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, and of course, Dog Day Afternoon. No, that Elton John. What's the best soundtrack to own, Michael?
Sweet Jesus.
What's the best soundtrack to own of a real movie?
To own?
Well,
Well,
what's
to
the best
keep in your
soundtrack?
collection.
Oh, my
To keep in your
God.
what are your top 5 all-time movie scores?
or
Sound of Music, I'm guessing, right?
to put on the space probe that goes out to alien
Yeah.
universes.
Sound of
What
Music?
soundtrack?
With naked people.
Sound of Music on
it, too.
there? On the top
no,
5?
No. Well, that's not a score.
I am 16.
I think
going
what
on
I've
17.
been
You like that one,
listening-
Tony, don't you?
Oh man, how long has it been since I heard that?
You just heard it just now. I am 16, going on 17. Da 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 boop ba.
Camera on me. What I've been listening to, what I'm stuck on lately is
I'm not asking about it, I'm asking all the
Batman
time.
Begins
Oh,
score
that's wonderful.
by Hans Zimmer.
That Hans Zimmer score really highlights Danny DeVito's face, doesn't it?
Danny DeVito.
Well, that's Batman
Wrong
Returns.
Batman.
That's a different Batman.
Batman.
You
This
mean
is
the first stupid Christopher Nolan one?
Yes.
That movie sucks. The only good thing about it is the score.
That's fine.
Yeah, the rest of the movie. Have you seen it? All that stuff like this. You can't tell what the hell's happening, and then Ra's al Ghul and Scarecrow are useless. Hate that movie.
But the score was
fabulous.
fabulous. The score was
Oh, the score was so good. Hans Zimmer's score. Have you heard Hans Zimmer's score to that movie? Batman Begins? Oh.
I generally, I don't get into superhero movies. It's,
Well, no,
it's too
but it
removed
doesn't
from
have-
reality.
All right,
for me.
another good Hans
Wait a
Zimmer
minute. You
score.
have your own little fantasy world, the home of the future, Richard? Your little fantasy home of the future world, but yet the superheroes are too removed from you?
Would you
Well,
like to hear
agree.
another good
you
Hans?
have to address that to the originator of the fantasy world theory.
Who said
Mr.
that?
Siraki.
Oh, yeah, we don't have him
So
here.
he's the
Shit.
one who can address that.
Fuck.
Pacific
can you
Heights.
address that
Pacific
for us?
Heights. Pacific
Oh, I
Heights.
love the score in that. The
Michael-
movie with Melanie
Michael
Griffith.
Keaton.
It's no good, but it's the Melanie Griffith, right?
Yeah.
But the score, the Hans Zimmer score for Pacific Heights.
Is he being funny or is he being serious?
I'm being
He's
serious.
letting
This
his
is him all
imagination
the time.
soar.
I'm letting my imagination soar like Tony does. Tony
all
usually
right.
lets his imagination soar, right, Tony?
Hell
You let
yeah.
it soar. See, hell yeah, exactly.
You
You're
don't put any brakes on your imagination.
No.
Brakes? What are those?
Exactly. He doesn't know what brakes are. That's not in his vocabulary, brakes. Even though he
He
used to be a-
tries,
he used to
but
be a truck
somebody
driver, so
clipped,
that's kind of.
somebody clipped the.
What else is good besides Pacific Heights?
what
and
else?
Batman
Sorcerer.
Begins? Oh,
Sorcerer.
that's Sorcerer. Have you seen that one? That's right up your alley, buddy.
With Tangerine Dream?
Oh my God! Because it's not only has great soundtrack by Tangerine Dream, but it's a scary trip through the Netherlands of death in a vehicle. Oh my God, it's intense. It's way better.
You'd like that movie.
It's way better than The Exorcist. Hans Zimmer's score and Tangerine Dream's score they work together on. Remember the Wages of Fear one? Remember
Which I saw, which was okay.
It's not as good as Sorcerer.
No,
Sorcerer has Tangerine Dream and Hans Zimmer working together. That's amazing. It's like
Wow.
all the Germans get together and work together. It's beautiful. Like Power Station. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
I'd like to say a little story about Tangerine Dream.
Okay.
They're becoming more and more famous in Germany. And so he gets contacted, what's in Froese is his name, Edgar Froese, he's the head of
Edgar
Tangerine
Froese,
Dream.
yeah.
He gets contacted, hey, would you like to do a show here in England?
Right.
And he goes, sure, sign me up. And they sign him up and everything. He goes to the theater for the opening night of his performance.
Yeah.
And they have a poster outside the theater. They dropped bombs over us during World War II. Now they're dropping synthesizers. Come and see Tangerine Dream. Whoa. He's going, who thinks these things up?
I love that. That's great. Did he like it?
He was laughing about it, so he
it's
must
really
have liked
good.
it.
It reminds me of that Faulty Towers episode. You know when Basil says, "Don't mention the war." And he keeps mentioning the war, but he said, "Don't mention." I got away with it a few times, but don't mention it. And he says, and he keeps talking about the war, and the guy says, "Will you stop mentioning the war?" And he says, "You started it." He goes, "We did not start it. You keep mentioning." He goes, "Yeah, you invaded Poland. What do you mean you started it? You fuck. Got kraut." And I can say that because my grandmother, my mother, forget about my mother. My grandmother, Loretta Hornbacher, fresh off the boat to Ellis Island from Germany. Thank you. Now dead. And and get this, at her fucking funeral in 1991, I go to her funeral, my grandmother from Germany, her funeral, and the priest starts digressing. This is the priest who will 4 weeks later, be busted for pedophilia and put on the front page of the Buffalo News. And this is what he does. He says,
saw that coming.
this is what he does at my grandmother's funeral. He says, Loretta, I barely knew her. But the thing is, the children are our future. This is the guy who busted on the front page of the Buffalo News, put in jail for pedophilia 4 weeks later. The children are our future. We have to protect the children. That's what. It's not important about the elders dying. And then he said, what about that Magic Johnson? What's going on with Magic Johnson? That's what he says at my grandmother's funeral in 91. And then he's on the front page of the Buffalo News 4 weeks later for pedophilia.
Too much cough syrup.
Do you believe this? No, this is a true story.
No, I mean
I've
him.
been drinking my
Oh, he had
bottle.
Tony, was too much cough syrup, maybe. That's possible. I am outraged. I wish Tom was here every week doing the cameras because this is great. It's like the old Richard Wicka days.
It really lets you
It's so
cut loose,
good.
man.
Let me cut loose, but Richard won't do it anymore. Tom's not going to come.
Come to the real Greg Sterlace show, the actual title real Greg Sterlace show.
I am Greg Sterlace, motherfucker.
Tell the audience why the name
Clock.
changed.